Yeah, it's black light. Yeah, you could train humans just like you could train animals using the same technique. Award, award them, reward them when they do something good, and punish them when they don't do what you want them to do. Uh, when they do what you want them to do, you give them a special treat. When they don't do what you want them to do, you deprive them of the special treat, and plus you may add a little pain or punishment onto uh, your training techniques. And most of the black people living in the United States have been trained. They have been trained in a very scientific way. Uh, a lot of us, we think that slavery was a long ago experience and that it's over with because of the fact that, uh, white women, white men are mingling, intermingling with us, marrying us. And so I'm going to tell you a story briefly. This is a true life story. I once knew this young lady, and she was very young. This was a long time ago, back in the early 70s. She lived on the same street as my mom, and I got to know her. I know her and her family. There was about 8 of them, and the mother was a stay-at-home mom, and the father worked in a slaughterhouse. But he had a problem of drinking. Drinking was a problem, and when he get drunk, he'd go off somewhere. He wouldn't bring his money home, and when he do come home, he'd be a different person, mean and obnoxious. So the mother had to get a job with some people that she been knowing, some Caucasian people. There was a doctor. The man was a doctor, and they lived in a very affluent neighborhood. So they hired my young female friend's mother as a maid, like cleaning the house and watching, babysitting the children and cooking. And because of the fact that the old man didn't bring her old man, her husband, my young friend's old man didn't bring the money home, they would, that was their way of helping out. And but a strange thing happened. The young lady started seeing uh, male affluent white guys as saviors and started despising her father and seeing black men as no good. And a lot of Caucasians do step in and help black people in need. And, we start thinking that, there are super white that are super whites that are saviors, of our people. And because they do come in, they adopt black children. They, you'll see them coming into the neighborhoods, cleaning up the neighborhoods. It was once a man that walked to work here in Detroit. I think he walked 50 miles or something to work out in the suburbs. And a white man seen him walking and, bought him a car. And that story was a big story. This happens quite often. White people do come in and help black people. Habitat for Humanity. You see them building houses for blacks. See, because they know that we were trained to work for them and not to work for ourselves, not help ourselves. To help them and not to help ourselves. Now, some of them don't realize it, that we were trained that way. But we were trained that way by the former slave master. And the slave master's children continues to carry on the tradition of training us. And a lot of times they don't realize it's a form of mental slavery. A lot of times they don't realize that. So, and we don't realize it, but it's ingrained in all their institutions. All of their institutions is ingrained. White supremacy is ingrained. Next video, I'll give you a few examples. Black Light out.